Ever been so mad you didn't just want revenge, you wanted justice so loud it couldn't be ignored? Well, my coworker learned that lesson the hard way during a department meeting in front of our brand new director and the entire team. Let's just say she'll never forget the sound of her own humiliation. If you've ever dreamed about serving instant karma to someone who stole from you, hit that like button, subscribe, and settle in. Because this is the story of how I turned a busted pair of headphones into the loudest, most unforgettable revenge of my career. 6 months ago, I had this old, beat-up pair of Bluetooth headphones. Honestly, they'd been through everything. Dropped from desks, stepped on, left in the rain, even dunked in water once. But somehow they just refused to die. The volume and power buttons didn't even work anymore. If they had a charge, they were on. And the volume? Permanently stuck on max. They were ugly too, patched together with a strip of bright blue duct tape on the right ear. But they were mine. They'd been with me through hundreds of commutes, workouts, and late-night music sessions. So when they went missing from my desk one day, I felt that weird mix of annoyance and resignation. Yeah, it was theft, but I figured, what can you do? Fast forward to a Saturday. I'm walking through the office to grab something from my locker when I see her, one of my coworkers, strolling in like nothing was wrong, wearing my busted headphones. The same bright glue duct tape, the same scuff marks, no doubt in my mind. Now, this wasn't just any coworker. She was that coworker, the one everyone else had to cover for. Always late, always unprepared, always dodging responsibility. And now, she was a thief too. I didn't confront her right then. Part of me thought, it's not worth the drama. But the sight stuck with me, like a splinter I couldn't stop picking at. Then came Monday morning. We're in our department meeting introducing the new director. She's sitting across the table from me, phone on the desk, bag beside her. And inside that bag, I can see them, my headphones. That's when a thought hit me. I pulled out my phone, scrolled to my Bluetooth list, and there they were, still saved, still connectable. My heart started pounding, not from fear, but from opportunity. At first, I hesitated. Maybe I should just let it go. But then I thought, she didn't let it go when she stole from me. So I connected. What happened next? I'm not proud. Okay, maybe a little proud. The headphones roar to life with, let's call it aggressively adult audio. We're talking graphic. A woman's voice moaning and shouting demands so filthy they could strip paint off the walls. Every slap echoed like a wet towel snapping against tile. It was so loud, I swear the conference table vibrated. Heads turned instantly. The new director froze mid-sentence. The HR rep blinked like she'd just been slapped herself. And my coworker? Her face went from confusion to horror to outright panic in about 2 seconds flat. She scrambled for her bag, yanking the headphones out, mashing buttons that didn't work. The sound just kept going, louder than ever. She looked like she was wrestling an angry snake, the vulgar voice still screaming, "Look in my mouth," and other, less repeatable things. Finally, she bolted. Right there in the middle of the meeting. Every pair of eyes followed her out the door. The room was dead silent except for the echo of the last, let's call it plop. When she was far enough away, I casually lowered my phone's volume, disconnected, and deleted the device from my list. I didn't even smirk. Just sat there, innocent as a choir boy. She never came back that day. The next morning, HR called another meeting. Mandatory. With supervisors, the director, and everyone present. They reviewed the company policy on personal devices and made it very clear pornographic material is absolutely forbidden on company property. Guess who wasn't in attendance? Yup, she'd called in sick. Rumors started swirling. 5-day suspension, maybe worse. By midweek, the whispers turned into certainty. She wasn't coming back. And then came the official word. She'd been terminated. Apparently, my little stunt wasn't the only mark against her. The meeting incident was just the final straw. At first, I felt triumphant. After all, she stole from me. She humiliated herself. Case closed. But as the days passed, the victory started to sour. I kept thinking, if I just confronted her privately, maybe she'd have apologized. Maybe it wouldn't have cost her job. I didn't know what was going on in her personal life. Maybe she needed that paycheck. Maybe I'd just made things 1,000 times harder for her. But still, every time I think about that moment in the meeting, her fumbling, her panic, that god-awful soundtrack blaring, I can't help but remember. She chose to steal. She chose to lie. And she underestimated me. Sometimes karma needs a little push. Picture it. An entire department frozen in shock as one coworker fights a losing battle against her own humiliation. The louder she panicked, the louder her guilt screamed through those busted headphones. And me? Sitting there in perfect silence, the only one who knew exactly how and why it was happening. That moment, that mix of poetic justice and pure chaos, was the sweetest payback I've ever served. Revenge doesn't always end the way you think. Sometimes it feels amazing. Sometimes it leaves you wondering if you went too far. But one thing's for sure. When people steal from you, they rarely expect you to take the sound of justice and crank it all the way to max. If this story made you laugh, cringe, or feel just a little vindicated, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the funniest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And subscribe for more stories where karma